Hey everybody, it's Glenn, back in this video as the road to the Red Skull Builder-Figure now draws to an end. And hopefully you've been joining me on that journey as I review each of the figures from this wave. But before we tuck into that BAF, let's reflect upon this wave as I rank them from the bottom to the very top. And at the very bottom of the heap for me is Sharon Carter. Honestly, I'd be hard to get excited about even a really well executed Sharon Carter, and here the reuse of the movie Widow body made this weird comic movie hybrid far from well executed. Then Demolition Man, as I like a bit more super with my super villains. I want to be left feeling like they're of the Marvel Universe and not the G.I. Joe verse. Followed by Captain America, a perfectly serviceable classic Cap, albeit with a super fat head. And while many snub Wolf Cap, I'd have been all about it had Hasbro gone the whole hog, or in this case the whole wolf I guess, and not left it just looking like Cap wearing a Halloween mask. Next, Mockingbird, who Hasbro put their money where their mouth is by giving her much new sculpting, which is certainly admirable. Then claiming the bronze medal of the wave is Cottonmouth. Could easily have been filler in this wave, but the head sculpt is just immense, giving him a sinister glee that makes me want to join him on a crime spree. In silver medal position is Whirlwind, just as a classic villain done justice. Meaning the gold goes to none other than Taskmaster. Unexpectedly actually, I hadn't given him much consideration prior to cracking his packaging open for a review and found myself struck by his menacing dynamic. Anyway, let me know in the comments below just how you rank them. Would I have bought the likes of Sharon Carter or Demolition Man had I not needed the BAF pieces they came with? No sir, or no madam, just in case a member of the fairer sex accidentally clicked on this video, and if they did, they're likely sticking around for my sweet accent. But generally, I'd say that this wave is weaker than the Spider-Man Absorbing Man BAF wave that preceded it. Yet if this wave does have a silver lining, then to me, it's this BAF. And so the Red Skull, which, if you're not familiar with the comics, then this is likely a look you'll be unfamiliar with, as it's his Red Onslaught incarnation, the roots of which go back to the X-Men comics in the 1990s, and to a battle in which Professor X used his telepathic powers to shut down Magneto's mind, rendering him catatonic. Harsh, yes. But old Charlie Boy paid the price as the dark aspect of Magneto's mind escaped into Xavier's subconscious, where it tapped into the Professor's own dark nature to eventually grow into the psychic entity Onslaught. Now fast forward to the Axis storyline of 2014, which saw a clone of the Red Skull stealing the deceased Professor X's brain. Yeah, if you're not reading the comics, Professor X is dead now. Sorry to break it to you that way. So in an effort to gain Professor X's powers, he grafted parts of Xavier's brain to his own, becoming Red Onslaught, which is the BAF as we have here. In design, it's as the original Onslaught was, the red and purple a homage to Magneto's classic costume colours, embodied in a seemingly heavily armoured form, for which the sculpt is really quite well observed, crowned on top with the classic Red Skull head and its piercing stare and evil grin. Beyond the head, the deco is minimal, limited to certain areas where a dark wash has been applied, and while minimal, those detailed deco parts break up the otherwise plastic flatness of the form. A plastic flatness that really struck me when I dug out the first Onslaught BAF from back in 2006 and the good old Toy Biz days. And here the past decade of increasing budget cutting is clear to see, with the Toy Biz Onslaught having an incredible surface texture and a deco with dry brushing and washes galore. Yet as considered as that is, in form, this was never the Onslaught I wanted. In the comics, with Onslaught breaking free of Xavier's mind, he was redesigned to visually demonstrate that he had now become a sentient entity unto himself, often nicknamed as Crab Onslaught because of its obvious crustacean-like look. And no matter how well executed and accurate to the comic character design as it is, if you don't like that design, it's all for naught. As I wanted Onslaught in his original form, and here we're getting that. Almost. To now moisten myself with nostalgia, and what I wanted from an Onslaught BAF was a superposable version of the pre-Legends Toy Biz Onslaught from 1996. Interestingly, in terms of deco, the BAF of 2016 has more in common with this version from 20 years prior than it does the BAF from just a decade earlier. Action figure de-evolution. But perhaps it's my nostalgia from the 96 toy and the Onslaught storyline in general that rose tints my glasses when I look at this new BAF, as it is in many ways a more maturely sculpted version of the 96 toy with better articulation, but minus the classic Magneto head, which is set to come, but later this year with one of the X-Men legends. Until that time, my cake is without a cherry. Beyond the deco, and another sign of changing times, is that the Toy Biz BAF had individually articulated fingers, which in terms of engineering is pretty incredible. Yet if I'm honest, I don't object to a static hand as long as it's sculpted with a dynamic gesture, which Hasbro have done here. Now looking at articulation, and the Red Skull head does rotate side to side, and it's able to look down the tiniest amount and then looks up a bit more. These shoulder armor pieces are articulated, but it's not really a great range of articulation to prevent them from inhibiting articulation at the shoulders, but hey, that's the character design. So at the shoulder, the arms move up this much, and then move back this much, and then they move out this far. Then there's upper arm rotation, followed by just a single jointed elbow. Then this purple gauntlet part is actually a separate sculpted piece slid over the lower arm that does rotate around. Then the hand rotates at the wrist, and this is also hinged, moving, well, not really down and up slightly. There is no waist rotation, but in lieu of that, he has a rotating diaphragm joint, and then this joint also moves this far forward. And then it doesn't really move back owing to that back armor piece, which is actually a separate piece that pegs into the back. It comes with Cap Wolf. At the hips, his legs move out to the side this much, and then they move this far forward, and they're able to move this far back. There's upper leg rotation, and then the sculpt of his armored boot at the knee there does make it look like that's a single jointed knee, but that knee armor piece is actually hiding a double jointed knee. Then at the ankle, his feet are hinged, moving backwards and forwards, and they have that crazy ankle rocker pivot that I love. And see the protruding part in the sculpt there? It's nicely engineered so that doesn't inhibit the ankle pivot. And now taking full advantage of that ankle pivot, with this being his widest stance possible, still with both feet flat on the floor. Ask and ye shall receive. Sometimes. So yeah, back when Axis was current, I created my very own Red Onslaught from a knockoff Red Hulk BAF, and side by side like this, go easy on me. Oh, who am I kidding? This is the internet. I'm told to get a life or kill myself daily, so some criticism on my customs I can handle. Anyway, click this video for a convenient all-in-one place playlist if you missed any of the reviews from this series. Plus, I would love it if you could reward this video by giving it a big thumbs up. I'm currently drowning in editing my Deadpool action figure evolution, and frankly could do with the encouragement to carry on. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye.